If you're an entrepreneur and you're working a lot, you're probably avoiding your family, and it's probably causing tension at home. Your wife's stressing on you. She's giving you a hard time, which is putting even more pressure than we already have as entrepreneurs on top of us. Pay attention, because I got some good lessons that I'm going to give you in this video, and I'm going to help you save your business and your marriage at the same time. Because look, what good is running a business and making all this money if she leaves you and takes half of it? Ask me how I know. In my second marriage, I didn't really spend a lot of time with my wife. You know, I like the idea of being married, and I like the idea of having someone to come home to, but I was rarely home because I was always hustling. I mean, dude, I would work late nights at the office, and then after the office, I would go meet people for networking events. And after networking events, sometimes we'd tie one on and drink a little bit later in the nighttime. In my mind, I thought as long as I'm providing for the family, as long as I'm making some money, then she would be appreciative. But clearly that wasn't her love language. And I learned a hard lesson the hard way in the form of an unexpected divorce. So I'm on marriage number 4 now. I'm a hardhead. It takes me a while to learn lessons. One of the things that I do intentionally is when we got together, we set a certain set of standards that we're going to have for our relationship. One of those standards, there is no going back on it. There's no excuses made from it. There's no reason not to do it, and that's date night. It doesn't have to be this wild, extravagant Valentine's Day type of date. We go on what we call the AARP special. We go to date night at 5:30 in the afternoon, and we're typically home by 7:30 or 8 o'clock on a Wednesday. Why on Wednesday? We don't have to wait in line. We get exceptionally good service everywhere we go because the places are pretty much empty, and then we're home in the middle of the week so that we got the weekends to go spend time with the kids, soccer games, football games, wrestling matches. We do our best. It's not always possible, but we do our best to put our phones aside. We do our best not to discuss work. We try to make it something that's about family, us, or something that a topic that we enjoy talking about. Because listen, your wife should be your best friend. Your husband should be your best friend. If not, you got some serious problems in the relationship. Man, I have lived that. That's holy hell, I promise you. Wife number 3 gets pregnant. So I'm working 2 jobs. I'm working during the day selling cars. I'm working during the evening times learning social media and learning how to market online. And we're talking about 2011. And what happened was that caused a lot of stress in the relationship because she didn't feel like I was giving her time. And then what happened was she started to nag me. And she would say, "You're never home." And I'm like, "But I'm doing my best to learn a new trade. I'm putting in effort. It's not like I'm bar hopping with Mike over here." And guys, let me tell you something. If your wife's nagging you, it's annoying as fuck. We can just all agree on that, okay? But she's nagging you because you're not meeting her needs. She's never going to nag you to do something worse. She's not going to nag you to get a drug addiction. She's not going to nag you to go to the bar. She's not going to nag you to go out partying with your friends, right? That's not why a woman nags you, right? A woman nags you because you're not fulfilling her needs. And I didn't know that at the time. I just thought, damn, she's being a bitch. And instead of fixing and listening to her and taking instruction from her, I'm like, oh man, she's being a bitch. I got to figure out a way to get less time with her because every time I'm with her, all she does is nag me. And it starts this cycle. She nags more, I show up less. She nags more, I show up less. And it was just that cycle that eventually broke. The thing that my wife and I do, and people, when they first hear this, they freak out. Okay, so don't freak out because this is the greatest bit of advice that I'm going to give you in this whole damn video. We have a shared calendar. So my work calendar that I use at work, my wife has a login to it. And instead of her asking me to do something, she just goes and puts it on my calendar. She doesn't have to ask me to do anything. She just logs into the calendar and puts it on there. And people are like, "Oh, you make your wife schedule time with you?" Yes, we schedule date night every week. "You make your wife schedule time to do this, that, and the other with you?" Absolutely. Why do I do that? Because listen, the most important thing to me, I'm a very organized person, is the calendar. I'm on the calendar for business calls that make me money, serving clients, meetings with the companies that I own. And those are the most important things to me in my business, and my family and my wife is my business too. So if I'm used to and I'm programmed, if it's on my calendar, it's important. Why wouldn't my wife put things on my calendar that are important to her? My wife schedules blowjobs on the calendar. I'm not even kidding. She's like, "Make sure that we got the kids asleep by 9 o'clock. And you're laughing, video guy, because you've probably seen it on my calendar before. Because we're making time to make love. We're making time for the things that are important. But we come to a mutual agreement. If I need something from her, it's on the calendar, and I invite her so that she knows it's on the calendar as well. And what that does is that allows me to look up and go, "Oh, Amy scheduled this time for us. Instead of her telling me and me being like, oh shoot, I forgot, I'm sorry, and now I got an angry woman at home, she goes and she schedules it on the calendar because she knows I'm paying attention to that calendar. Dude, I don't know when the last time we've had a fight about not spending enough time together, or me forgetting something, or me not doing something that she told me to do. It makes all the difference in the world. Wife number two, we when she met me, I had this big 5,500, 6,500 square foot home, and some catastrophic shit happened to me. My house got raided by the local police thinking I was a drug dealer, which I wasn't. And I ended up getting a case for having a gun and would later on go to prison. It was a whole damn debacle. And I told her, look, we need to sell this house, this big house, make some money off of it, go buy a tiny house in the poorer side of town. We'll go from 6 bedrooms to 3 bedrooms. We'll save up all this money. I'll go buy a bunch of real estate. It'll cash flow. And worst case scenario, if I go to prison, you'll be able to live off of the money that I'm making in cash flow of these real estate properties because we took the money from the big house and invested it elsewhere. And man, I didn't give her a choice, to be honest with you, because I'm paying for it. So we're going to do what I said we're going to do. And I'm the wiser of the two people in the relationship. So I took the house from her, took the car from her. Yes, was it my fault? Absolutely. I ended up going to prison. But in the meanwhile, I was trying to set her up to be okay while I was gone. And she just wasn't hearing it. And that her not catching the vision, the second I stepped foot into prison, she ended up cheating on me, running off with another dude that didn't have his shit together. They blew through the money in about 4 months, like I was scared that it was going to happen in the first place. I came out of prison, divorced, without a wife, and with $25 to my name. But all she had to do was just follow my plan. But the second that I disappeared, she went right back to her old ways, blew through that money, and it destroyed the relationship. Now, every year in December, since 2016, my wife and I, we take a vacation together for 2 or 3 days. And the vacation is to, get away from these noisy kids, but it's also to plan what we're gonna do for the following year. What we do actually is, instead of sitting down and figuring out common goals, I write all my goals down. She writes all her goals down. Then we sit down together and we discuss. So we might go to Cabo and sit at a pool, and I'll be on my phone typing my goals, and she'll be on her phone typing her goals. And we spend the whole day hanging out, making out, having a good time. In the evening time, we go to dinner, and then the next day, while we're at the pool, we discuss what our goals are. I listen to all of her goals, and I think, oh shit, I'm gonna have to pay for that. Then she listens to all my goals, and she thinks, oh, I'm gonna have to deal with that. That has been something that's really been, because listen, my goals are typically money, money, money. Her goals are typically kids and things of that nature. And so we have, we're two different people, so we have two different ideas on how life can work. We have our own game plan of what we're gonna do in life and how we're gonna make money and how we're gonna raise kids. So we stay in our own lane, but at the end of the year, she lets me know what she expects from herself the following year. I let her know what I expect from myself. If you